All right, here we go. Farthest Frontier. We're loading up a fresh map, Idyllic Valley. We are going to start fresh with a large map. Get a good playthrough on this and see what this game's all about. So while we're loading in here, taking a look at a few of the reviews. I mean, people reviewed this. It's got 11,000 positive reviews on Steam since release in October. Probably quite a few of those happened also during early access. So we finished scouting the surrounding area, survey the land that your villagers have explored, and choose a promising site to construct your town center. It's important to choose a location that's near resources you'll need to build a successful settlement. Things like clay, iron, potential food. Yeah. Let's take a look, see if they've spotted any water, but I'm going to guess no. We're next to a mountain and another mountain, but no water. So we are going to rely heavily on vegetation and wild animals. Let's adjust. I like to change the visuals so that I can see the number of a given resource. And that goes for, charcoal, iron ore, gold. It also goes for the shrubs, right? The greens, things that they can forage. And you got nuts here and whatever else, but I'm guessing that we are in either the very end of winter because they're showing a 0, but here you got like an animal count here, so yeah, we got to find a decent spot. I do not see many trees here, so this is going to make things a bit difficult with building, to be fair. We can't do anything with this yet. You have to have a temple before you can start salvaging relic sites. So that's closer to mid-game. What do we got here? We got iron here, iron ore here, a couple animals there. We have to be pretty selective. Gold is nice, but you gotta, in order to take advantage of the gold, you have to have a foundry, which again is a solid hour minimum into gameplay. Just with the technology tree they have. Sand is good to have. Let's check out our crop fertility and go from there. So we've got some space here, not huge, some space there. It's kind of spread out. There's not really one bulk fertile area for farmland. So it might be a case of we build our town center here, maybe. What do we have access? We have some deer over here. We've got some foraging here. Got some rat or deer over here, not many. Some foraging here. I mean, I think this is the way to go. I think, actually, if we set up right here. Warning, raider camp nearby. Oh, well, we don't want that. Well, how do we know that? So I guess we don't want to be over here. As much as I'd like to be close to the iron ore, but... So I guess we're going to have to start over here out of their range. So we've got deer, gold, boar, sand, foraging. We've got some trees here. Not that we can get to them because the boar will attack us. Yeah, I think we're relegated to starting right here. And charcoal. I guess we can use that coal for keeping warm. In the early game, this will give us some early stone. Trees here to clear out the fertile land. Yeah, I think this is the way to go. This is the way to go, I think. So we'll set up right here. By doing this, I'm pretty sure they've got to clear that stone before they can set it, so... There we go. So they've got to clear that stone before they can build the town hall, which is good. And we're going to use this to clear this batch of trees here. And we'll clear this stuff here. We'll clear this here. Stone is super important early on. The whole reason I did is because I wanted to force everybody to build that, build the town hall in the stone and force them to get rid of that stone first. Wood trees are a lot easier to get than, or wood is a lot easier to get than stone, so... Alright. I like to be able to see where people are. I'm a big fan of that. I like to see where everybody is. It allows me to kind of watch where everybody's going. And see how either completely efficient they're being or completely inefficient. I've seen a couple reviews where people have said that they don't always stay to the most efficient pathing. They don't always use the closest resources when they need to. So we'll get started with the standard crossroad here. And we're going to get a well. Let's set our well here. And let's get some basic housing. So you can see here we're in the beginning of this shelter. Gotta wait for the... Yeah, they need to get moving on this. Yeah, work. Firewood splitter. Set that up here. food production. Let's get ourselves a forager shack going. There we go. And let's get a hunter shack going. We're going to keep everything really nice and tight to the town center to start with. No need for a fishing shack, but we are going to make a smokehouse for meat preservation. And now it looks like they've got all the stone cleared, which gives us 29 stone to start. Doesn't seem like a lot, but you'd be surprised. So we're not... Yeah, we know there's a housing shortage. We're aware, buddy. We are aware. We know there's going to be... Man, it's so... Let's just get a good start there on... Well, that's going to cost money to start with, so... We're going to halt construction on that. We don't want... now that I think about it, we don't want resources going to that just yet. I imagine the game is going to give us some time to get things going. Let's get some housing. So the question is, where do I want the housing to go? Desirability is going to be low to begin with, no matter where you put them, to be fair, because there's nothing. There's no amenities right now. But let's pause this and take a look at fertility again. I want to leave all of this open for farmland. So we are going to surround everything with farmland here. I almost want to put the farmland down now. We want to keep these small. We want to keep this down to where it only needs 2 workers. So 9 by 5. But now it's saying there's a raider camp nearby over here. So we are a lot closer to the raider camps than I'd really like to be at the moment. By doing this, I don't want to interrupt with the forage stuff there. So 9 by 5, 5 by 9. Five by 9. And duplicate that. Okay, now what I can do here is I can turn off construction on these because I don't want them putting any effort towards these yet. But what it does do for me is it blocks off those areas for the purposes of building. I'm going to do the same over here. So I'm essentially just planning ahead right now. I honestly, I like the idea of keeping these down to 9x5 or 5x9, simply because it makes it much easier to maintain. Now we've got deer here, and I'm aware of that, but there's only ×2, so they'll be cleared out long before I use this farmland over here. So just because I'm essentially using my own blueprint mode here. I'm a big fan of blueprint mode in games like this because it allows you to kind of preset things and see what it'll look like in a sense. And like for me, I want to protect the farmland because once I get going, I'm not gonna, I'm the type where I'm going to lose sight of where the stuff is, and it'll be bad for me. Yes, what this is gonna do now is it's gonna force me to go this way with building, but that's fine. With building homes because I want farmland here to start with, and then as we explore further south, or sorry, west, we can uncover more fertile lands as we go. So we're going to push this way and likely out this way, knowing already that there's raiders over here to the east, or to the south rather. So yeah, this is south, this is north. So our wagon is north-south facing. God, words are hard. All right, let's get him moving again. So yeah, that's the plan. No, you. Okay, so it looks like they're grabbing the stone, but I need I need lumber, so let's go, people. We do need stone, don't get me wrong, but alright, let's get our hunter grabbing some food here. Let's take a look at how this works. So you assign him a zone. You're given this circle, this zone to work in, and if you pay attention here down near the bottom where you can see the hunting, gives you the list of animals that are on the map, I guess. But as you move around, you can see like what you'll be hunting for and the level of or somewhat the amount of animals that you'll get. So you can move it around the map, obviously pretty much go anywhere you want to, it would seem, right? Obviously I don't think if you're, anybody that knows city builders, you don't want to stretch out your workers and make them travel too far. We're just going to have him work this area here, kind of keep it close to home for now. And then we have our forager as well. Let's see, what do we got? Again, same thing. You can see where it will. So it looks like we're going to get plenty of berries, some greens. So let's do that. Have them work over this way. We have our smokehouse for smoking meat. Now we got our firewood splitter. Unable to work, missing items. Yes, we know. So you stop working that. Go back to being a laborer. And help gather some wood. Next thing, most importantly, is housing before things get a little bit out of hand. So we are going to have some housing on this end. Tab button for rotating towards the road. We're going to leave a space for the road. Now, when they cut down trees, they do not cut them down to the roots. So when they cut down trees in this game, it will leave the stump and it will regrow after a certain number of years. I don't know what that is yet. When you build over top of a tree, they remove that tree to build on it. It doesn't stay there any longer. So that tree will be gone for good. So important to keep that in mind when you are building. Anything that you build on top of a tree, that tree will be removed forever. But if they just cut it down, see in this example, they're going to take the trees completely down. Anything they cut down elsewhere will leave a stump. And then they'll start to come back. You know, after so much time, you get a small tree. It gets a little bigger, gets a little bigger, gets a little bigger, right? Gets a little bit bigger, kind of a thing. And then it becomes fully grown again. So I'm going to move my forager, I think. I think we're going to move our forager up. Yeah. Yep, we are. There we go. We'll have the forager move over this way, a little bit closer to home. And now that we are into summer, we've got some hazelnuts. Alright. We are going to need a storehouse. My recommendation is, first and foremost, storage should be get a root cellar as quickly as you can. We're going to put our stockyard right here. Next to everything. Next thing's going to be getting our... Yeah, we're going to destroy that. We need this coal. Now, yes, it's going to be extremely undesirable to be near this, but once it is mined out, it's gone forever. And then the desirability will shoot right up. So coal mine, we're going to need research mining in the tech tree. So let's get into the tech tree. All right, so villagers require homes. Yep, we know that. If there's no housing available, villagers will be exposed. Risk damage or even death. Settlements develop. You'll need to continue to provide goods for villagers to stock in their homes. So tutorial being on for this. Let y'all see that. And this is a good overview. Click up here where the people are. It's a good overview to see where all of your labor is going. Number of laborers. Those are people that don't have a specific job. Number of builders that are actively building. So you got 1, 2, 3. And then 8 people doing nothing and 1 person building. I say 8 people doing nothing, but they're the ones going out cutting the trees and grabbing the stones and... yeah. So firewood's a critical resource. We do know that. We're working on that. Let's get people off the stone. we've got enough stone to hold us over for a hot minute. Let's get everybody on lumber because we are getting into the fall. And we don't have firewood. Up here, you'll see months of food in public storage, 21. Now what I was going to say is, root cellars are the best early game food storage, and a smokehouse as well. So if your hunter is successful at bringing in meat and you smoke that meat, it lasts much longer. So you come in here and you've got your wagon with all of your starting supplies. Everybody's unhappy. Look, get out there, smack some trees, get back here with the lumber, and let's get cracking. Like, everybody's on lumber right now, aside from the foragers. Alright. Watch them work. Okay, going to town, going to town. So if I'm looking at this here, now we're seeing logs come in and they're going away just as fast because obviously they're being used immediately. The key is get homes built and get firewood quickly. That's why when I, first looked at this map, I saw not a lot of trees in the starting area. Not a lot of trees at all. So here's our tech tree. We finally got ourselves a knowledge point, right? And those develop on a pace. Obviously, ways there to increase the speed at which they generate. Schools being the first one. And then working our way up to academies as well. So one of those things that you have to get working on as well. So a lot of targets that they give you to reach milestones in the game. So the town center generates knowledge every month, but further advances will eventually require an academy to perform research at a reasonable pace. The academy is the center for scientific pursuits and tremendously accelerates the rate of new discoveries, which it does. Once you have your academy up, it's quick, but you also need a paper mill and you need paper because they do research. They need to write down this research, and paper is a requirement for the academy. So without paper, the academy does nothing for you. And every now and then they find these books. You can get those at excavation sites, and I have found them at raider camps, just like it says here. So there is some benefit to getting your military built up and getting out and hitting those raider camps when you're able to. They have got to get moving with firewood. They really do. So we're coming up on we are coming up on a real crunch here, because while we've got food, which I'm gonna take these folks out of here. They've got to get out there and start helping out with trees. And all right, good. We're starting to get firewood. That's good because we're in late autumn right now. It's about to get dangerous here for people, especially those that don't have housing. Now I've got this on ×2 speed, but you really have to balance what everybody's doing to make sure that it's a possibility I may have missed it. It's going to be tense for me. I'm not even going to I'm not even gonna kid with you. So they're working their butt off to get lumber, logs, not just to build the houses, but to keep people warm. I mean, we're approaching winter here. They y'all gotta get a move on. All right. So I'm gonna hard focus them right there. Take everything else off the map. That's it. I want them right here. You all have got to start moving. So now I believe everybody has a place to sleep. Now they need firewood. So we are going to disable construction. Everybody has a place to put their head. Now everything needs to go here. Everything needs to go there. Construction is halting on everything. We've got a place for everybody to put their heads. Got beds for heads. Now they really have got to do this fast because we're into it now. Got plenty of food. I mean, I'm sure we're going to lose some food. The spoilage. Yeah. Alright, they've got one log in storage. I don't have people. Oh, okay, so they're waiting to come here. And say, man, I can't, I have nowhere to put them yet. So once I have 6 homes, they'll jump in. So I'm actually glad I paused these, because otherwise this would have, one, used up all the logs. I know we are. I know we are. It's not... It's not because it's not available. It's because they're just not working it fast enough here, so... I may have left people on food gathering a bit too long. So... Again, I've left this spot clear. The coal... Coal is a good source for heating. And I'm going to need it because, again, not a lot of trees on this map. But I've got to hit the tech tree now. So let's hit the tech tree, and this is a good look at the tech tree here. It's massive. It is massive, and it's tiered. So you're going to spend some time on this for sure. So we take a look. Low stages, right? We got cast iron axe blades. Speeds up, log harvesting. Tools is something that you have to have. So you got to keep an eye on that and get your technology up to the point where you can start making tools again. You get started off with a decent amount depending on the level of difficulty you set up. But you do have to keep that in mind, so you do have to work towards iron relatively soon. Eventually getting into, metallurgy. You're going to need heavy tools. So we've got stone cutting, minus 20% work to mine stone deposits. Adjustable shoe lasts, minus 25% work to produce shoes. I don't see much value in that. Lookout. View distance, that's great for, probably when you're 8 or 10, maybe 12 points deep in the tech tree, because it's not super important yet. But there are some prerequisites moving up the chain. Some things don't, you don't have to go into spindlewick production to be able to use forging. It's not tied to it, so there's no prereq for that. Some of these are just standalone, whereas others are part of a prerequisite system. So keep in mind when you want to build up towards things, you got to take a look at that. And some of them branch off. Some of them require multiple or have multiple ways to get to it. Defensive barricades, militia. Something I think you'd want to spend in the first 5 to 8 points, because you're not going to have military very early on. Hygiene, I think, super important. Probably spend it in the first 5 points. Taxation, yeah, you're going to need gold. Early on, gold is a pain in the ass to get, but once you get probably 8 to 12 years in, and you set up your iron industry, right? Iron mining, and or you get like a stone. You find plenty of stone deposits where you can dig into. You can start raking in the gold just by trading. So, let's see, plus 2 more resources gathered per forage source. So, this is something to use early on too. If you're in a situation where getting food can be a bit difficult. For me, I'm not too concerned with that right now. My primary concern is let's head down here. Where is it? Health is important. People get sick, you're screwed, because it will spread. You're going to need this here, a healer's house. So you'll need a tier 2 town center, or 9 knowledge. So keep that in the front of your mind about grabbing that. Stone cutting, less work. Stone cutting takes a long time, as you can plainly see, just by watching that. Minus 10% work to produce firewood, minus 10% work to produce pottery. We're going to probably wait on that, because we don't need heavy tools for quite a while, and it's in tier 3, so it's going to be a while before we can use that. But for now, I think for an immediate help, we're going to jump on knowledge generation. So this will get us points faster. So while it seems like I could probably benefit more from hygiene, getting these knowledge points is of the utmost importance. And that's all there is to it. So I just went from needing 5 months to 3 months. And the time will increase as you gain more points. But getting knowledge is like a major factor in this. So at this point, I think they're just now generating enough firewood, just enough to get by. So as you see now, when they're cutting down trees and they leave these stumps, these will grow back, as I was saying earlier. They will grow back. You could, if you wanted to, take them down completely. Don't do it. Especially in a situation like I'm in, where lumber is a hot commodity in this area right now, So the fact that we're sitting on a bunch of logs is great. We want to make sure that, here's our firewood splitter. They're cold and they're dying, and it's not good.
What needs doing?
Because he has no firewood. The guy's job it is to cut firewood is going to die from cold. The guy whose job it is to cut firewood died from the cold. I want you to think about that for a second. Think about that. Okay, I want to assign specific people to a task because they're dying. I need somebody that can work. And they're not. So, this is a problem, right? You can't choose specifically who to do a job. So now I have to sit here and they have to die because I can't put somebody else in there to cut firewood while they're sick. Okay, so that's an issue for me. I cannot,
What needs doing?
you need to go and cut firewood. Why are you seeking shelter when you should be cutting firewood? You have shelter in... You have a shelter right here. And you can, like... Well, I mean, let's just X3 this and get through the wintertime because nobody's doing their job. Oh, now they're getting out and going. Well, now I don't want to attract vermin, as it said, right? Because people are dead. So, we need a graveyard. Unfortunately. It is bound to happen. So let's put the graveyard not back that way, but I don't care about the graveyard being near a raider camp. But I certainly don't want it near the town center. We can put the graveyard right here in the dead. In the dead zone. I like curved roads myself. So this will take us out of the main town and keep the bodies away. So still nobody actively cutting firewood, so kind of on me on that. Did not push the firewood soon enough. So here you can see where we're going to lose some food to spoilage, which, to be fair, seems kind of odd to get spoiled food in the dead of winter when you're storing everything at ambient temperature, which is, you know, cold, extreme cold, freezing temps, enough to kill people, so. So you have the means to enact policies. With policies, you can fine-tune various aspects of your settlement. All policies have positive and negative benefits. You know, negative points, right? We know, anybody familiar enough with city builders knows that each policy can be toggled once every 12 months. Okay. So let's go in here, see why it's flashing. So this is our report, right? You can see what was produced. Let's turn fertility off. See what was produced, what was consumed. So you'll see consumed more because we started with some. And there's our knowledge point. Let's go into hygiene because we don't want people dying. I'm gonna just jump on that bandwagon now. I don't want people getting sick when I can't build a healer's home yet. Alright. So now we want to build those houses. Game saving. We want to build these houses so we can bring in those extra family members. Let's see. Let's go to housing. Yep, we know we're low on firewood. And it doesn't seem like anybody wants to do it. Really getting annoyed at that. So, Elra and Layla, move your asses. Still plenty of food. We're going to lose several months of this over time. So here comes our immigration now. We're going to bring our builders up to 4 because now we're going to need them. Laborers will come down, but we're going to bring people in here. So it's a pretty fun balance with keeping enough builders and enough laborers. Again, laborers being the ones that are doing all this resource gathering, the lumber, the stone. Where are you off
Hello
to?
there?
Alright. So right now everything's being done by hand. It's a big downer. Take a look at what we need to upgrade. So we're gonna need some wood planks here, yeah? So let's get our sawmill going. Right? We got some firewood built up. Resources. So here's our saw pit. And this is what gives us our planks. Now we've got some, I believe, some good farmland there, so I'm not going to ruin that by putting that there. I should actually let me cordon that off now, like I did with the other ones. Chin. 5x9. 5x9 is my favorite size. And turn construction off on that. 5x9. There we go. Alright, now that reserves our space. That reserves our space. Now we can't accidentally build on top of that. Like I said before, it's... I have a habit of when I get into it, it just gets away from me. One thing about farmland, you will need to put fences around it. Wild animals, deer, boar, it will get into your farmland. It will eat your crops. So, it's just keep that in mind. You're going to need to leave a space similar to a road around the perimeter of your farmland, and you'll be able to build fences. So you'll have the fence gate. You'll need at least one to get into the farm area, and then you'll want to fence around it the rest of the way to keep the animals out. Just keep that in mind, because it's very easy to make the mistake of putting the roads around and then realizing, oh, you're losing crops to wildlife. Well, why? The wildlife will stay away if there's people there. Set aside boar. The boar, if they're passive, will leave you alone, but the boar will get aggressive. They will attack you. They'll attack your people. So definitely got to be worried about that. 7 people. We got room for them. Bring them in. So this is good. This is what we need. We need to start telling them to take down more trees. So let's get them on it. And let's clear out some of... No, we don't want to clear out any of that. So we're about to get oh, what do we got? So we got food, got goods and materials, and villager info. Population, simple stuff here. Growth, births, death, decline, exposure. We lost 4. We lost 4 to exposure over the winter, which is a downer. What I haven't figured out yet is what each home uses in firewood per year. Desirability is something that we'll cover later. I'm not worried about that now. But a bustling market would help. Yeah, I know. I need to be able to build one first. Now that I got the saw pit being built, I'll be able to. Can't do it yet until I get it in the tech tree. So we need finish that saw pit, and we need a storehouse. Which, now that we have that here, we can put that right here. And it still looks like our wagon belongs there. Pretty neat. Okay. Now, got water. That's good. I don't know how big the coal mine is going to be. Okay. Where do we want to go next with this? We do need gold, but taxation is not the way to go. We're good on resources for now. No, let's undo that. That was a mistake. See, now while I've got the prerequisite for this, tier 2 is going to require a tier 2 town hall. So we cannot get into any of these. I'm starting to wonder if we need to set up militia just yet. I don't think so. Yeah, I guess we just go with the tax. Start building up taxes. Because gold's going to be a huge thing. It's tough to get this early on, but it will be much easier down the road. Middle game will be much simpler. Graveyard is up. And we've got 4 people there. Okay. Wait, how big is this? Okay, 96 people. Yeah, that'll be good for quite a while. We hope. Let's prioritize this. So you can prioritize construction. And it basically says to everybody, hey, things got to happen here first. I don't necessarily need this built first, because I need planks from the saw pit to build the market. So if they get this built first, I can get a couple people in here making planks while they build the storehouse, which is a prerequisite for the market. It's all just about planning, like any city builder. But yeah, I mean, the market, I'm going to set the market up right here in this space. It should reach here. It should encompass this house right here, if I'm not mistaken. And in turn, that will increase desirability, which is what they tried to shove down our throats earlier. You'll see if we try to build a new one, a new shelter, it'll show you desirability. So here we're encroaching on the farmland. We have the clear button if we need it, and you can just click on something to clear an entire road, or you can just circle it, clear, circle, but it wants to take the whole road, and I don't want to clear the whole road. So, but you can have it choose what you want to clear. So if you want to like go through an area and you want to get rid of one certain thing, but you've got stones and walls and berries in that area that you don't want to clear, then you can just uncheck those, drag your box around it, and it will pick and choose what to clear based on your settings here. Make sure you do that before you encircle it, because you can't uncheck them once they're already selected. So I'm curious because I don't remember. Oh, I did circle that. Okay. Guess what? Stop working on that. Get working on trees. Come on. So we're gonna have to get our forager back to work, because we did spoil a lot of food. Plus our population did double. So we'll get our forager back to work, and everybody should be hitting the lumber now, hitting trees for logs. I want to get these people should be coming in. Oh, that's the market. That's the market one. Okay. You know what? I'm going to remove this one, because I want to set the market here. I don't want to get too close to the farm. Saw pit's up. We got 2 people working it. We've still got 10 laborers out here hacking wood. Now only 6 because we got builders doing their thing. Now, you could very easily just grab a settler and move them around the map to explore. this early on, you don't really want to be losing settlers. So my suggestion is that you wait until you've got some military, a barracks, and put together half a dozen, swordsmen or even archers will be able to defend themselves better than just a random settler moving about the wild. You can avoid walking into a bandit camp. Your vision will allow you to see them before they see you, and in my experience, they don't chase you down. They will fire if you go inside their aggro range. They'll launch at you, but you can, retreat out of that, and they won't follow. So that's my experience with it, anyhow. Alright, we've got plenty of firewood. Enough splitting firewood. We need the logs for other things. We got our storehouse up. I don't know why this is stopped. Oh, that's the lookout tower. Never mind. We don't want that yet because that costs upkeep. But I wanted it there as a placeholder to defend the town hall. Alright, now it's time to build a market. So we are going to... we're going to remove this. And we are going to remove this. Roads. I want to clear, but I don't want the entire road cleared. Screw it. Go do that, and now we build our market. Bingo. And now we can continue our road down through. Alright, so now when we got our market up, you can see the area of effect that this has. You can see why I left a gap right here. So we can continue homes over there. And we can continue homes over here. Alright. So you'll see now, desirability was a bit low. But by placing the market, you're now seeing this outline where it highlights this shelter's green, and you'll see what it does to the desirability. Obviously, the same thing will happen if you build something that will, impact desirability in a negative way. It'll turn red. Things as any type of industry, foundry, brickmaker, things of that nature, noise pollution, air pollution type of thing. You can see over here, same thing. You can see how the desirability is low because of the storage and the saw pit and the firewood splitter. Like, it's just noise. People don't want that right next to their house. So yeah. So we're waiting on this. We're gonna drop 2 more people in there, and we're gonna expand our reach with that. We're gonna take people out of here because there's no wood to cut. I'll put 1 person in the firewood splitter. We've got 152. I'm hoping that that's going to be enough. Let's spend this knowledge point. Where is it? We want to get over this way because we do want to get into some of these Stone cutting, mining speed at quarries. Minus 10% work to produce firewood. Smithing. Unlocks mines. That's what we need right there. But we need a tier 2 town center. What do we need for a tier 2 town center? Well, right now we need that market to finish. We need 30 population, which right now we're at 25, as you can see up here. But we're also going to need 60 planks and 30 stone, which we're just shy of, but we'll be able to get that in no time. So, right now we're approaching winter. We've got people, after the game saves, working on logs and firewood. So we want to open up mining, which we don't have a prerequisite for, right? You can just jump on that as soon as you have tier 2 town center or 9 knowledge points invested. I think the best thing to do right now is start looking at these tech trees to see where we want to aim next. Arrow loops. Lookout tower can upgrade to watchtower. Very cool. I think that's good if you're in a more aggressive gameplay. This one, not so much. I imagine the bandits will start showing up here soon enough, though. I think less work to mine stone. We need to be able to get stone faster. So it takes a long time. Okay. I would like to figure out just what the consumption rate for firewood is. Oh, I need to eat something. It's almost noon. So, we're going to watch these townspeople work. There's really not much else we can do. I'm not going to build anything else. We've got to let them do their thing. I'm going to go grab myself a little snack cake or cheesy poof while these people are catching up on gathering resources. So give me 3-4 minutes. Watch them do their thing and I'll be right back. Okay, so we've got ourselves some luxury taxes. Villagers will automatically stock their shelters with available luxury goods, but a market will expedite deliveries, right? So this is getting into the higher tier goods. Let's keep that firewood splitter going. Got ourselves a couple of knowledge points, but now 6 minutes I was away making one. Person's got to eat, you know. Anyhow. We still... Alright, I'll bust the market. Well, what do we got here? We got a market. Spoilage reduction bonus. Okay. Hey! Look at that. Well, of course we will. You don't want to turn them away. We need all the help we can get, right? Now, let's get those knowledge points spent. We can see that they're stocking the market. As our ability goes up in the area, people get a little happier. Nice thing is that the game will point you in the right direction, right? First things first, let's get these points spent. I think it's time we get some militia bonus, because I do feel like raiders will be showing up soon. View distance, and not really necessary just yet. Defensive barricades, not yet. Sustainable farming, we're not into farming yet. But with the increased number of people, we are going to do an increase on the forage goods. Alright, because we're definitely going to need some more food here. We are going to put the hunter back to work. And let's put him somewhere where... Alright, there we go. Keep an eye on where you put them with respect to resource gathering. And of course, like with a lot of city builders, you do a lot of waiting in the early game. Waiting for resources, waiting for them to build things, waiting for population to increase. You have to balance all this. You have to balance your population growth with your ability to produce food. So squeaky squeaky. See the hunter going after that doe? Looks like you got one. All right. Okay. We really need root cellar. One there. One there. They are key in preserving food. So, let's check our stocks. We got meat. We don't want the meat to spoil. Let's get our smokehouse going. I think the next thing we build is a school. That guy. Now, in order to get schools, where are we at? Where is the prereq for schools? This is farming and forestry. Where are you? New discovery, construct this building or knowledge, but town center 2. Oh, look at that. Get her done. Okay. What next? Well, let's wait for town center 2. Should not take that long. So I'm at 2x speed. I have been for most of the game, just to kind of progress things a little bit here. So we're gonna research mining, and we need a wagon shop. That's going to be amenities and service. Now your wagon shop. Wagon shop might be under production, right? Healer's home, trading post, school, rat catcher, temple, shrine, theater, pub. It's not in tier 4. So let's get that school built. And we're going to increase desirability over this way. There we go. Let's go spend these points quick. So here's our nursing, the healer's home. We need that. Done. Deep wells, we don't really need that. 15% construction speed. I'm not concerned with that just yet. Mining, however, huge. Confirm. This opens up a whole slew of things to do. So resources. Wagon shop found in storage. Wagon shop right there. Let's set this up. Where do we want to set this up? The wagon shop. The farmland's gonna be going there. Farmland's gonna be going there. We can set it up here. That's fine. What else do we need? We're gonna need a vault eventually. Food production, arborist, bakery. Don't need a fishing shack. We don't need that. Resources. No, 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 no. Oh, a charcoal kiln. Used to burn logs down to charcoal. We're not doing that. We'll get this built up soon enough. School costs money to build. We know. Now we're reaching the end of summer here. We should have enough firewood. We'll keep one person working that. Labor-wise, we're good on labors. Let's pause that. Only because we need the planks for the wagon shop so we can start the mining. Uh, 34.48. We can build more shelter. Okay, market reaches those. Once the school goes up, desirability will also go up with it. We're also going to look into the trading post. Trading post is a little bit on the expensive side for us at the moment. We're having them clear those. You can see we are hurting for lumber, right? So we kind of have to be a little choosy. We got enough firewood, I think. Oh, maybe we don't. Jesus. Just rip through what we had. Gonna have to slow that down a little bit. In the market, we're gonna take one person away. Not sure why the food stores are so low. I mean, we shouldn't have an issue at food stores. But I'll do another forager's shack over here. So here we need a temple. which we do have the access for. However, it's 1,200 gold, so it's not something we're going to dive into at the moment. Winter has arrived. Okay. Added forager ought to help keep up. We're good on firewood. So, as you can see now, the trees that we have cut down are starting to come back. There are these small little shrubs now. Freezing temps, moderate breeze. Not the same problems that we had. And that's it. Foraging is done. Nothing left to forage. What are you doing?
Need
Warm
something?
enough? Okay, you're kind of warm enough. Alright, and we're gonna pull this forager. Let you find something else to do. New village. Mining speed at deep mines, mining speed at mines, so that's good. This will get us up into quarrying as well. But we won't be able to see that for quite a few years. The foundry is important when we're doing iron. That's going to be for weapons. Not quite enough value in that yet. Unlock the armory. Not just yet. We're not there yet. Plus 10% birth rate. Unlock the paper mill. That's important. Heavy freight. 20% capacity for wagons. That's big. Yeah, let's go with that. Then being able to move more things at a time is super helpful. So we've got this gold ore, but useless to us for at least another 5 years. Probably closer to 7. So capacity, we're good. Firewood, we're good. Let's step up sawmill production. And let's get our mine installed. Because it'll be great to be able to use charcoal instead of the wood. There you go, plenty of firewood. We're already into the new year. Everything should be going to that. And everything should be prioritizing that. Foragers getting back to work. Get back to work. Go to town. My man. What do we got for idle? Not many. Unpathable terrain. We'll see about that.
Aye?
What you doing, bud? Doing nothing much? Okay, I think it's time we got a farm going. So in this case, and just having these two going, we might be okay to not fence these up yet, because if I set them up right, I should be able to have it to where there's no incursion by any wildlife into them, like keeping farmers there. And now I think also it's time for a trading post. think a good spot for this would be... Yeah? Up here. One of the next things I'm gonna need is clay. Which I don't have in the immediate area. So that's gonna pose an issue. I'm also going to need sand. So, clay and sand. We've got a deep sand deposit, but that does not help us. We need surface sand, which we don't have. Okay, here we go. So you're having trouble getting water, huh? We will accept them 100%. Let's get another well built. See what you're buying. Nothing I got. All right. 15% speed of farmer field work. We are taking that. Because we are about to start making our own food. So we get 3 years of crop rotation. And you get to choose what you plant. Fill each bar to create a full crop rotation. Environment, fertility factors. So you have fertility, you have weed level, and then you have the rockiness. So environment, fertility factor impacts how... I know, school's already coming. How effective compost and crops such as peas and clover are for improving the crop's field fertility. And then here you can adjust the clay and the sand mixture in the soil for optimal yield. Each crop has its own mixture, but therein lies the need for clay and sand, which I don't have any of right now. Alright, so because of the weed level, we're going to have to work this field. And then we're going to have to fertilize the field. We're not going to get anything out of that one this year. But when it comes to farming now, this is where you have to pay close attention. So everything has its own tolerance to certain conditions, its own grow time. So everything that you intend to plant, you need to check and make sure that you're not going to plant it at the wrong part of the year. or in the wrong conditions, right? So, for example, flax. Flax can grow in just about anything. It doesn't care about rocks. It doesn't care about drought. It doesn't care about heat, frost. It's a small yield, and it does allow weeds to grow. But it doesn't impact fertility that much at all. It is fertility dependent, doesn't impact it. So here we plant clover, bring up the fertility. If you look down on the bottom of that list, impacts fertility in a positive 3%. It's super tolerant to rocks and all weather conditions. The whole idea behind it is it's similar to just leaving it fallow, but it actually helps with fertility and weed suppression. So we're gonna have them work the field here and here. We're gonna do some clover. We can do nope. We can do some turnips. Then we'll do some cabbage. And then we can do some beans. Alright. So we've got ourselves a little future of food coming in. Alright, there we go. Now we're set for the next 3 years. So by having them work the field, they'll knock down the weed level and reduce some rockiness. This will bring up fertility. So we'll see how this goes. So now they're going to come back and they're going to start working because their job now is to... Come on, 1, 2... 1, 2 to work the land. And again, he's oh, we have some gold. We have a positive influx of gold, so I'm not going to sell the pelts that we have. Okay. Let's enable construction. Needs 86 gold. We have that. Problem is we don't have the clay. So now I guess what we gotta do. We've gotta send somebody exploring.
What is it?
I'm gonna let him stockpile those logs before I get him out on a journey to the unknown. I know there's bandits over this way, so I'm not gonna send him that way, of course. Alright, I don't need your mining stone. Where'd you go? Oh, alright, let's just have you go this way.
Of course.
And he's carrying some food with him. He's healthy. Oh, there's some iron, so that's good. We can start working that. Another excavation site from when we finally have a temple. Ooh, lots of iron over here. Lots of iron over here. Guess where we're going next? Another excavation site. Well, as soon as we have a temple, that'll give us a nice boost. Oh, I know. We're low on builders, but we're not building much right now, in case you hadn't noticed. So I do have to keep an eye on the edge of the viewing circle because we don't want him to walk into a bandit camp. Alright, so I'm starting to get the sense that this is a very mountainous terrain that we are living in. It's not helping our cause here. There goes the trader. Another excavation site. Oh, see? So they will not trail him. But let's send him home.
Yes.
This is somewhat tragic. Because I can't find clay. Or sand. Hey, we found clay. It's not too terribly far. And more coal. Oh, I better get her back home. Oh, there's some clay here too. Look at that. We're not going to have them coming out here in the freezing cold to make to construct this right now. Now, the only problem with doing diagonal roads on a grid build system is you can't turn you can't rotate the buildings at a 45 degree. It has to be a 90 degree. Bend or a 90 degree turn. So that kind of takes away the ability to run diagonal roads and change the outlay of your, you know, it just keeps everything very boxy, so it's hard to be unique with your building. So check our stocks. Got 92 there. Okay. You definitely don't want to have them wandering off in the blizzard conditions or in the cold. They need to be able to get back to shelter when they want to. And if I kept forcing her to walk around, see how they're going back now? They're like, nope, we're not working in this anymore. Like they're going to seek shelter.
Aye. What is it?
What it is everybody's seeking shelter. Oh, wait. Wait, can they use charcoal to keep warm? I don't think they can. Oh, I may have fucked up. Yeah. I may have. I'm thinking of a different game altogether. That uses charcoal for heating. What are you sad about? You're 4 years old. Oh, you don't have clothes. Feels bad, man. Oh, believe me, I want this school up, but we gotta wait until they can actually work that clay mine. No food. How is that possible? Alright, well, I guess I'm gonna have to increase farmland here. so here we have some trees coming back now. I said it takes some time. Year 5, and these are just coming back, so. I know food is essential. We all do. Foragers can now get out there and start banging out. Now, with the difficulty I have with getting lumber, I have to put these walls up with stone. What are you buying? You're buying coal. How nice of you. So let's transfer some coal over there. Take them a little bit of time to get it there. Uh-huh. Okay, let's get that collected. We're going to need these stones for the walls. I'm not going to collect the very large ones. I don't want to spend it all day doing that. We can knock off the firewood splitting. Alright, let's take the speed down here. I gotta go to the fields that I have planted. Let's go to half speed. Alright, get them working on that now. To clear that and jack up fertility. Gonna need clothing. Actually, let's take that out of there. And food. And we'll jack up some fertility. And okay. Frost tolerance. Frost tolerance. No frost tolerance built in here. Okay. Spaz tax, huh? Doing spaz laps now? Oh no. You alright? That's funny. The birds have been out there a lot because of the feeders. Yeah, he'd probably be going nuts around those bird feeders for sure. Yeah, they'd be busy for sure. So we've got these crops set up. Gonna build fences around it because the animals are over here. They will tear this up. I'm not gonna have enough people to kind of follow that plan of let's just keep them over here working, because that won't always be an ability to do that. And don't forget your fence gate, otherwise they can't get in. There we go. Road going in. Now we need our school, so let's get them working on this. That's the second time I filled it. That bag of food didn't even last a week. Maybe. Okay, we've got the roadmap to the farm. We've got this one planned out and walled off. That one planned out and walled off. We've got to wall off this one now. We're not going to have enough for all this. I can tell you that right now. Like, I'm enjoying my spaz laps. Grab those, grab those. Grab those. Grab those to help build the fence over there. Still working on those. It's up to 2x speed again. So there's the clay we're gonna need. I got some iron ore going too. Not much. It's not even worth setting up, to be honest. You know what? Let's see what the merchants are doing. Sell what's there. And what are you buying there, bud? No, I'm not gonna sell you my weapons. I don't have many. So. Let's say that one. Okay. That's it. We got a little bit of gold now for tide of solar. And I think with that, it may be a good idea to build a tower to defend the workers against wildlife, potential wildlife hazards. And I think also typically don't defend farmland, so we'll hold off because it is a reoccurring expense. So might as well go ahead and get that built at least. No, we're not going to prioritize that. Let's see what the knowledge point can do for us. Fish, we don't have any fish to worry about. We are going to I mean, plus 20% regrowth rate would be huge for us. But we need food badly. So they need to get their shit together. Yeah, I might do. Come on, get the gold stocked. No, no. once this gold gets transferred, we're moving it now because it's left here, so it's in transit. Speed up a little bit. So once it arrives there we go. I am going to buy some food. Let's pick up 26. How many do we want? There we go. Let's buy 20. Buy transfer. And then we're going to pick up the clay. We need 30. And buy and transfer. And transfer gold back. Confirm. Okay, got it just in time because he left right after I purchased it. So let's prioritize that. We're still in a net positive for gold monthly, but as soon as those towers go active, that's going to change. Actually, let's hold off on that. Let them do what they're doing, but let's... I don't want to lose gold to that. A compost yard. Okay. Amenities and services. Resources. Compost yard. I mean, people don't want to visit graveyard if it smells like shit, but we don't need this to be a oh, you know what? I'm gonna do this because what it'll do is force them to clear that stone, which we need for walls. Now the school, they better be transporting that clay. That better be the clay that's needed for the school. There we go. All right, all right. Now, let's go half speed. Let's go to these crops that are now ready. Those are still being worked. They're set up. Set this one up. Okay, first things first. They need to work that. Telling me there's no room there? There we go. And the next thing we're gonna do is that. And then we're gonna do some of that. And then we're gonna do some of that, and some of that. Right there. Zoop. There we go. 1, 2. And we're gonna do a little bit of that, a little bit of that. We're gonna do a little bit. What? Okay, I guess we'll do a little bit of this. of this. The soil will be good for that, which is nice. We need our walls up. Gotta get the walls done the rest of the way. Back up to 2x speed. Building needs more workers. Which one? Oh, well, that's because we have to choose one. Here we go. Let's get into our touch base again and see what we can do. So now that we're into farming, we're gonna pay attention to this because we're gonna want to go into disease resistance. So we're gonna get into that. Once we get into compost, it's not going to matter because we won't have to worry about fertility loss because the compost will keep up once the settlement gets big enough. What are we waiting on here? Build a new school. Yeah, the school's built. Okay, take them in. We need them. We might not have the food farm, but we need them. See, look at crop seed biomes because the fences aren't getting built.
What needs doing?
And this is why I say you need fences around. Ready for assignment. Nothing there. happened? Man. Defenses. We need barracks. We need. That's just we need. We do need a healer's home. Start food production. Defenses. There's no wood. There's no wood. Everybody seek shelter. It's a blizzard. It's a blizzard. I'm glad that blizzard was short-lived. Push this and hope that this will be enough walling to prioritize to keep the animals out. See if that does it. Next step is the Weaver's building because they will need clothes. Creatures building. We need weapons, otherwise the hunters can't hunt. We'll put the tanner over here. Because we need clothing. And we will put the weaver close to the farm so as to not have to travel very far with blacks.
Hello.
Disease resistance. What do we need next? I mean, we're going to need trees to regrow fast. I think that's another good point to have. Now, I don't know. I can't put an academy up yet. It's too soon. I mean, my bigger problem right now is food.
Need something?
This is coming back. Where's the compost facility? Deep crops have empty rotations. Well, they were turned off. Is that asking questions about? I don't know how to... if there's even a way to select multiple. Let's see what you're selling. What are you selling? What's fish, huh? Well, there will be once I sell these.
What needs doing?
Mommy dear. Mommy dear. Look at your mama. That's my cue, boys and girls. Break time.